It take no, bro. You got to realize I've lost like 5 people.
I had my first person like turn their stuff back in.
Oh yeah,
Like I never thought. Like
yeah.
you know how my blood.
I mean,
because I don't got enough yet to I've never had a marketer. I don't know how to use them.
yeah.
So
And I'm telling you now, from what I've learned at this point, don't do it until you absolutely freaking need it, because that's where I think I've run into some things of just learning, at least,
yeah,
of like you think you need all of these
yeah,
positions. And I've learned just about everything. I know how to do HR, I know how to do marketing, I know how to
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know, the janitorial,
yeah,
all of these
yeah,
things. But what you forget, well, sometimes you feel like you need that freedom, so you start to hire,
yeah,
and then you get heavy on payroll.
yeah, yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Once you get too heavy on payroll, it can be it's a good, I mean, it's not a good thing to be heavy on payroll at all, but
Yeah,
sometimes you just want your freedom, so you feel like, oh boom, let me hire this
yeah,
so I
yeah.
don't have to
But
do it.
then it ends up not having freedom because then you don't know what you need. And
Or you realize how much time, like that's what sucks when somebody does leave. Now I don't take it personal no more. Now I get a 2 weeks notice. It's like, all right, like, I mean, they come and
I'm
go. I
trying my
get it.
best to get there, boy.
Yeah, it take no, bro. You got to realize I've lost like 5 people.
I had my first person like turn their stuff back in.
Oh yeah,
Like I never thought. Like
yeah.
you know how my blood. Like you gonna turn it back in? like you.
You don't want them to keep it.
I know, but at the same time, I never thought that something that has great intentions started off a certain that someone would want to give it back.
Well, I mean, I think I think that's the beauty of it, is once you really, like when we talked,
Mm-hmm.
and you really don't, because we're both people that we're like, we make friends with our people
Quick.
because we want them
Yeah.
to love it the
Yeah.
same way we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And once you realize that they're never gonna love it the same way that you do, unless you bring them in as a 50% partner,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and they're, you know what I'm saying, they're that invested, then the more people, the more I've experienced, the less I take it personal.
Wow.
Because I'm like, you know what?
But that's unfortunate because this brings us to our point. You can teach me how to physically or business wise handle stuff. There's no way to teach the emotional parts of it. So
No.
it's still things that I got to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at the forefront of it. But I
Mhm.
think what I take away from watching your process and hearing that you got to the point where you didn't take it personal is that
I still take it personal, just not as
yeah,
personal.
but what I'm saying is
Yeah.
I know there's I know it can get better.
Yeah.
I know I see you, 5 people ahead of me, unfortunately, and
Mhm.
losing and things of that nature, and also having the same, where we're talking about personal and professional line,
Yeah.
where we kind of will cross that because what we do is so much a part of us. Like
Uh-huh.
we're not selling something that we bought and then we want to resell. We're selling
Yeah,
ourselves.
I was gonna say, yeah, this is like heart work.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
just a physical representation of who we are.
Correct.
So then when we bring people into it, but like I said, what you can't teach me how to handle things emotionally, but what I
Correct.
then in turn can look at you for is that, all right, he's still standing up.
Yeah.
He's still cool. He survived that thing. Cause bro, the first time I
Absolutely.
lost,
It's
boy,
tough. It's tough,
I
bro.
was
I'm
messed
telling
up for
you.
3 months.
I believe it.
The first time, like
Because it
3
hits you in
months.
so many different ways. That's why I think it's so essential for, again, therapy.
Mhm.
Get yourself right, because what ends up happening is the first sign of anything. Even somebody talking, you find 2 of your staff talking about you, and it can rip you to shreds. Why?
Boy,
Because you feel like they're coming against me. You know what I'm
boy,
saying? Da, 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 and it impacts some stuff that happened in high school
boy,
that you never got
boy,
right. Or, you know
boy.
what I'm saying, when somebody leaves, it's automatic abandonment. Automatic abandonment. They're leaving, they're leaving,
Said
my
that they're
business is gonna
leaving me.
fail.
It's
Everything's gonna
over.
fail. They're leaving me. What did I do? I treated them with the
Hey,
ultimate respect. I gave
hey,
them everything.
hey.
That's not what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, people leave.
Right? People
We,
leave,
we left the place. You know
bruh,
what I'm saying? Like,
bruh.
it's,
And the
it,
first thing they ask us, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna make it? At least we don't have that type of
yeah,
disrespect
yeah, yeah.
to them.
But the wild part is that people leave, and we left these places, and we were doing that thing, and it's all a part of the like some of the stuff has to happen, but we're
Correct.
such connectors because some of our gifts can become our biggest burdens at times because
Yeah.
one of my gifts is connecting the dots and
Right.
connecting stuff and putting this together and seeing how it flows. But then when I do that too much
Right.
and I connect, oh, this is why this happened, and
Hmm.
then I fester on stuff
Trying to puzzle piece stuff together too much.
that
Yeah.
was going to happen anyway. I remember I
Yeah.
tried to my car broke down. And we was talking about breakdown in the last part
Yeah.
of this, but my car literally broke down like a few weeks ago, and I'm frantic and I'm thinking it's because I did something or I didn't call this person back. I'm connecting all these dots while
Yeah.
the spirit realm was going to make my car broke down. No, bro. Then I
Your
went
car just broke down.
and it was my battery the
Yeah.
whole time. Like so it's that thin line of our gifts where when we do connect things and we do it in the right fashion, it comes together beautifully.
Yeah.
But at times that thing without therapeutic support
Uh-huh.
and having the right people in your corner, you can start
It
to
can weigh on you.
man,
But what I've learned too
how do
on
you
the
turn that
upside,
off?
what?
Like the I guess it would be overthinking because people to say, don't care what people think, right?
Right.
A part of my superpower is caring what people think because I help them.
Okay.
So now it's I have to turn off my superpower
Mm.
to you see what I'm saying because I'm able to connect with people in ways that I know a lot of people can't.
Correct.
But that's because I genuinely care. I go all the way in. I love people from day one.
Valid.
And that's what makes me so good at my job. But then on the flip side, someone does something or someone, does me wrong, and then everyone, man, don't care about what people think. People can't tell you that. How I don't know how to turn that thing off because
Yeah.
it's so much a big part of who I am. So the same people that I help are the same people that end up hurting me, right?
Mm.
So or not even to the person, more so like people are who I help, and people are also who hurt me,
Yeah.
right? So it's so tough to
Yeah, I think like that's where grace comes in.
yeah.
I think that's where grace comes in, and honestly just like understanding you can only do but so much.
Mm,
And once you
mm,
impart and give everything you're supposed to give,
mhm.
then it's no longer even about you no
No.
more. Like it's just, I mean, that's how I had to take, you know what I'm saying, one of these last situations.
Mhm.
Uh it was like the way it came, I was like, darn, right after a team meeting, like,
Yeah, yeah.
what? Are you joking, bro? Like
It never come,
3 minutes?
you ready for it.
But
Yeah.
once I read through it, took myself out of it
Mm.
and read it what, subjectively or objectively?
Objectively.
Objectively,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, okay, X, really look at what's being said,
Mm.
right? There's an apology there.
Mhm.
There's intention there.
Mhm.
There's probably a reason why it came at this time,
Mhm.
right? Okay, X, this is not about you.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is just about the actual like decision that has to be made as an adult
Absolutely.
of, hey, this is a hard decision. I don't want to do this, but I have to do this. And once I took myself out of it, I was able to see, like, you know what, X? Wait, everything that was done in this time was just to set up so that maybe that position isn't needed.
Yeah. And
Like
so
maybe it was just a systematic thing that was needed that those people come in to create
yeah.
a system. Because technically, once you start to get into like big business, that's all business is
It's
systems.
systems. It's plugging and playing
It's
and
plugging and
seeing what
playing.
works and what
What
doesn't.
things can be automated that
Yeah.
decrease
Yeah.
payroll?
Yeah. That you didn't know, but you had to go through that situation.
Exactly.
And that's the thing is I love this conversation because people don't get to see or hear about those parts of, yeah, you got to the point where you have to take yourself out of it, but people don't know the moment and how hard that shit
Oh
hurts,
yeah, bro.
right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
it still
Yeah.
sting, and you still are human. Like, so I don't know how long that takes, and there's no time frame for it, but that still hurts.
Yeah.
And then you got to go inside and do that
Mhm.
internal work
Mhm.
of, why is this hurting me this way?
Yeah.
Why am I having this? But like, we still human, bro.
And that's the piece. That's the piece that I think that like why I know we're built for this is because when it stings, we immediately are like, wait, find out where it's stinging.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
why is this stinging?
yeah, yeah,
Not so much just like carrying it around, like, no, but I'm stinging,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
stinging.
yeah, yeah,
No, you can't tell me I'm stinging.
yeah,
No, it's like,
yeah,
wait. Go look in the mirror. Why are
yeah,
you
yeah,
stinging?
yeah, yeah,
Does
yeah.
this have anything to do with the person
Mm-hmm.
that you think
Mm,
stung you?
mm.
Or is this stinger just still in there and
Mm.
somebody actually just you know what I'm
And they
saying?
just touched it.
They just touched it. They
Y-
just found out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just so happened that they just found out, oh, you still got a stinger
You
in
still,
there. You got to figure out how to remove that stinger before, you know
absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I think that we do well at that because we're not scared to get self-aware
Absolutely.
and realize like no, we can't keep holding on to stuff. It does get easier.
Yeah.
So where I'm at, 5, whatever, and you may be at 1, it gets easier. The problem is we invest so much into
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And when we care, and we give you our heart, we give you our time, we give you our sacrifice.
Everything.
We're pulling away from family, friends, loved ones to make sure that you feel adequate and you feel
Validated.
supported and validated when really those are things that we need to be doing for ourselves.
Boy. Boy.
Because on the flip side, they're doing that for themselves, and
Absolutely.
at any moment, they're going to
Absolutely.
make the best decision
For
for
them.
them.
For them. For them. For them. And that's the thing. For me, is from the first time to the second time, it wasn't that it got easier, just the amount of time that it affected me shortened.
Mhm.
Right. So,
Mhm.
and going back to when I first started business, I remember, because I tell people the hardest thing about owning a business is not the financial part, is the mental side.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first started, I would have these lows and they would last for like 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
would be down, like, why am
Yeah.
I doing this? Why am I doing this? That never goes away. But now, because I've been in it, now that thing has gotten to a day.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mhm.
now I still have those feelings. Man, I need to go back to work. Man,
Yeah.
forget this thing. Man, I can just go get this position. I need benefits. Man, forget this. And it'll last, but it is shortened.
Shorten,
So
yeah.
now I'm trying to get that thing to where, closer to as shortened as I
Mhm.
can, even if it's to an hour. But the thing about it is, I never don't not want to feel it.
Okay.
So
Because it allows you to know that what you're doing is real.
absolutely, because if I
Absolutely, yeah.
stop feeling it, then I feel like I don't have connection to what I'm doing. It's
Mhm.
just becoming just this
Yeah.
any old thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't never not want to feel it. I want to feel it because then that lets me know, like, yo, I'm still in this thing.
I'm still in this thing.
I
No, that's real. That's real. I definitely
it's shark still in the water,
yeah,
bro.
I definitely. It was a situation the other day. Um, it was a situation the other day that happened, and I just saw so much growth in myself,
Mm,
so much growth in myself because a situation happened, and a particular person, was having a rough week.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, personally, and it was a shot out. It was a shot to me. You know what I'm saying. They ended up, kind of shooting at me. Wasn't anything terrible or
Yeah, 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 yeah.
malicious or anything like
Uh-huh.
that. But because we're human, we have personal things going on. Boom. I got the downs. I got that side of it,
Yeah.
and I had to hold. I was like, whoa, like, who are you talking? Who are you talking to?
Wait a minute.
Right, and then, it was kind of like a back and forth, and then, it settled, and I kinda, I kinda felt myself, like, kind of feeling a little self-righteous for a minute, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just like,
Mm-hmm.
"Who are they to talk to me? Da, da, da,
Yeah,
da."
yeah.
And I had to back up for a second. I said, "Whoa, X, whoa, whoa, whoa." And, 10 minutes later after I kinda, like, decompressed, I walked in the room and, um, I was like, "We cool?" And it was like a immediate just sigh of, like, "No." And it was like, "Okay, boom." Like, now you're leading because
Yeah.
now you're leading because now you've put
that
away the
that
pride
that's
and understood that, bro, like the same way that you can project in relationships and come home and be pissed off because of now it's time to really lead.
to really
Now I'm locking into the, like, okay, it's like to lead. Now you really got to take yourself out of the equation,
absolutely,
take the pride out
absolutely.
of the equation, and really understand that these people are leaning on you not only for good decisions, but also to be to be of
Yep,
of
yep,
a support.
yep, yep,
Not so much a counselor
yep,
or anything
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, but
yeah,
a
yeah.
therapist.
But
But
and to lean into because you only grow like growth really only comes in uncomfortable situations
yeah,
and uncomfortable moments and losses. Like that's where true growth comes.
right,
You can only learn but so much from winning.
right,
So in our I think we understand that individually with the endeavors that we do, but now as leaders, we're starting to have to understand that relationally with the people we work with,
yeah,
that it might not be like we understand when something happens from our point of view because it makes sense.
yeah.
But when something happens from someone else and you got to take it into consideration, that is
So and I say that because when I start to think about true leaders,
Mm,
right? Like I know Martin Luther King gets very much like uh, saturated
mhm,
as
mhm,
far as the leadership piece. But if you really think about the tiresome, right? You started talking about fatigue
mhm.
and the tiresome of, well, I rather just go get a job,
Bro,
bro, and just,
bro.
you know what I'm saying, boom. The quicker that I can only imagine like how tired it could have been to constantly just be put let down, let down, let down, let down, let down, let down, let down. But still to show up every day and still make decisions, sound
Mm,
decisions,
mm.
right? Decisions that are not even benefiting you anymore, right? Like this is you
Eh,
making decisions that are helping out not even your own family.
and even if they're not even helping you or helping, they're hurting you. Matter of fact,
Dog.
the decisions you're making are direct. You're seeing directly lead to
Right,
you go to jail, you getting hit in the head, you
right,
doing all this
right.
stuff. But you know, bro, that
But you can see so far ahead of the natural eye,
bro,
right? And we
bro,
just talked. I
bro.
just talked to a lady in church about this. When you see so far past the natural eye and it's clear, then you're willing to go through that fight.
Man, and think about it, and shout out Martin Luther King Jr. I don't know when this episode is dropped.
For
We're
sure, for
close
sure.
to it
We are
now,
close
but
to it.
but in thinking about him and that leadership, the scariest thing, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day, is one of the most somber, realest things for you to recognize is you might not get to see
The fruits of your
the
labor.
fruits of your labor. And a lot of people like when you think about it, Martin Luther King didn't know his impact while he was in it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure just like we
I think
know
he did though.
no, I'm not to the level at which he is now. I don't think no one because just you're just doing the work. Like right? Like
Valid.
you're just doing the stuff like I was at a wrestling match the other day and somebody came up to me and they were like, "You're Daniel? You work with such and such?" I was like, "Yeah, what's up, bro?"
Yeah.
And they started talking to me, talking to me. Then he said somebody asked about you and your services, and I was telling them about it. Then they kept going, and they was like, they told him they was like, Daniel's not Jesus, right? Like he's good at what he do, but
Right.
hearing someone talk about
Mm-hmm.
me and what because we're just doing what we're good. So I
Yeah.
say that to say the impact at which we're doing, like we know what we're doing is important,
Yeah.
but Martin Luther King, I don't think he understood the magnitude at
Yeah.
which it was going to have the
The
longevity.
longevity.
You
Yeah.
pray about it, you hope for it,
Yeah.
just like everything you're doing with Humble Hustle and
Yeah.
Humble Heights and the people you're impacting. Like you know it's important, but you
Right.
don't know 50 years from
Right.
now,
Who's gonna tell that story?
And I always need to give better examples, but Abraham Lincoln didn't know what he was doing in the moment. These people don't
Yeah.
know. They have a vision,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see that thing all the way through,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I think is the part about leadership is when you really,
Because it lives on. It
bro,
lives on.
it's the
It's
we're
this.
fighting for the ripple.
Yeah. And it's the small things. It's the small things that really do allow you to get over the fatigue,
Mm,
right?
mm.
Knowing that it's like I gotta pull these people
I got
through,
to.
and they're counting on me. It's a lot of pressure, but you know what I'm saying. To whom much is given, much is required.
Because I was talking to my wife the other day, and I said, "This thing gets heavy because people don't realize how many people are picking at your energy.
Oh, bro.
So many people's lives are dependent." Because I had a conversation with one of my athletes, and it was a mess up. You know, it was my thing because I was overextending myself, and he had told me like, you know, "Coach, I really needed you, and you couldn't answer."
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, my first initial thought, "Do you know how many people I help?
Right.
Do you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
how many like?" The way that I know you is how I know hundreds of people's
Right. Right.
lives.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know how I'm able to do it.
Right. Right. Right.
I know every nuance of what makes a person tick
Correct.
for a lot of people. But then I had to be okay and I had to be in the moment and I responded and I apologized because I did mess up because I overextended myself. But then I went home and it was like, we have so many people who are reliant
Mm-hmm.
on our energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're at 50%, somebody gonna take
Somebody
that
gonna take that,
50%.
and somebody gonna at least 30. At least 30.
And
They're
they're
gonna ask for 50, and we give them 30.
so again, that fatigue comes from that energy that's being pulled that
Mm-hmm.
we at the end of the day we sign on the dotted line and we want to give it,
Yeah.
but it's
You don't never know what it looks like.
you don't
You don't ever know what
you
it
don't know
looks
what it
like.
requires.
You have no clue. And this it's one of those things where I could tell you, I could probably paint a picture with words
Hmm.
of what it looks like, but you still would not even be able to grasp
At
the
all,
full
at all,
the full effect of it.
at
You know what I'm
all.
saying? When you still have to show up, even though there may be sidebars, and there's expectations, and you are at your wits end with personal, emotional, physical, social, and you still got to show up.
Still gotta show up.
Now, believe me, I wouldn't trade it
Heck
for
no,
nothing.
heck no,
I
heck
wouldn't trade
no,
it for
heck
nothing.
no.
But for those of you that are in those positions, what it's like. I can't imagine, like, even like coaches, like, you know what I'm saying, to you, regardless if it's a losing team or a winning team, you have to show
You
up.
have to
Because
show up.
especially coaches that, with any coach, because at the point you're a coach, that's the true leader for me that
Absolutely,
I look at. Because I'm
absolutely.
like, the grown men are still looking at coach
Still,
to say, "Coach, what do I do? Coach, what play? Coach, did I do this right? Coach," like, it's still the same thing.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
isn't a there isn't a time. um I think, I mean, I lean right now. I lean on that Bible verse. Um do not get weary in well doing.
Yep, yep,
um
yep.
and just once I can hear the spiritual side of it, and that's what I've been leaning on the most at this point, and trying to draw closer to it every day. That is what allows me to say, okay, in the physical form I'm tired, but in the realm of, like, spiritual wise, I'm
You
not doing it on my as long as I don't try to do it in my own strength,
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
we're good.
You're onto something because that's when God becomes the most powerful when we're at our weakest.
Mhm.
That's when I haven't wanted to do a session and I was tired and I had to push through because I couldn't cancel. I've had some of my best moments because there's no me
Right.
no more. Like
It's
it's
straight
all
spirit. It's
spirit that
straight
has to take
spirit.
over because I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say we about to coin a phrase, even though if it's out there, but let's call it leaders lag,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
When you get to that point of fatigue as a
Okay.
leader, and you have jet lag, you
Yeah.
have those things, and it's the remnants of
That
the work
autopilot.
you've done.
Uh-huh.
So let's call it leaders lag. So when
Yeah.
we're in that moment of leaders lag, what are some things that you feel like either you do or that you would want people to do, can do, that can help them to
It can help.
rejuvenate, recharge, to get out of that lag?
Simply just ask. If you have an inkling
Mm,
of a feeling that that person is tired
mm,
or worn out or
mm,
drained, just ask.
mm.
That's most of the time, that's all we want,
Yeah,
is somebody to be aware
just to
and to
notice it.
just to notice it. You just want somebody to say, like, "Are you all right?
You look, you,
You need
you don't
anything?"
look like yourself.
Correct. Then now you've opened up the door for me to let down pride and say, "You know what? It's been crazy, bro.
Bro,
I done had this, bills, da da da, whatever, whatever. Girlfriend doing this, boy, whatever, whatever the situation is." right? Now that's up to us to let go of pride and to be
Mhm.
vulnerable and to be transparent, right? To create those relationships.
Mhm.
But most of the time, that's all that's really wanted
Yeah, yeah,
in those moments is for somebody to notice you.
1000%. I was looking for something I had wrote down the other day that goes along with that. It has said, I can't, but it has said that sometimes I'm paraphrasing, but I love
Mhm.
this so much. It goes along with that. It says sometimes you don't need help, you need encouragement.
Mhm.
Like don't confuse
Mhm.
I need help with you just need some
Correct.
encouragement, right? Because they look very similar, right? That they may look the same, but you can figure it out. You just
Yeah.
need someone to say, "Hey, keep going.
Uh-huh.
I see
Uh-huh.
you."
Uh-huh.
Right? Ain't
Mhm.
nothing like that in the world. And I'm
Mhm.
seeing that with my son is he'll be crying and to do something or he trying to show me something and I'm like, "Come, I got you, boy." And he'll like push me off like, "Dad,
Mhm.
that ain't what." And I'm like, "What? I'm help." He'll get and then he'll get up, like let's say for instance, he for whatever he loves a stage. He'll
Yeah.
make anything a stage, a
Yeah.
chair, a chest, a daggone cabinet. He'll get on top of any
You
and
want to
make it and
perform.
want to perform. So early on, I was like helping him get up, and he'll get mad, like stop that. And I had to realize like he didn't need my help. He wanted me to encourage him and to say he could do it. And then once he got up there, he was like, all right, I'm up.
I'm out here,
And he had
yeah.
been crying the whole time. He wiping his tears. And so that's that moment I think for us and for others where we got to be discerning enough to recognize do we need help or do
Mm.
we need encouragement,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Because they're both valid, but we'll let ego. We
Mhm.
already don't like asking for help.
Facts. Facts.
So-
And as I said that, I'm like, we want somebody to acknowledge us, to be able, to notice you. But then when they do we have enough? Can we put down ego enough to let them
Mm,
in?
because
Because
scariest part is especially people you lead, letting them see you down.
correct.
Then you're worried when they still.
Do they still value you in the same? Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think noticing that I think with leaders lag for me, um, um, in rejuvenating oneself is going back to the roots, so to speak, right?
Mhm.
Like for me, I will, right before I took the leap of faith and started my company,
Yeah.
a big thing for me is I didn't listen to music and I was just listening to all motivational stuff, all these things and all this stuff. And I'm not saying that's the same thing for everybody else, but I went back to something that I remembered
Mhm.
that I knew helped me to even get to this point. And I went back. I go back to that, right? I'll
Mhm.
go back. Now I don't need to listen to it every day,
Right.
but for me, that was something that was pivotal because leaders lag feels like when you first
When
started,
you first started, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I go back to something that I know encouraged me when I first started, before I had an employee,
Yeah.
before I had this budget, before
Yeah.
before anybody knew about it. Like, hold on, Dan, you've been here before.
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
because there's a physical
Mhm.
representation of it, don't mean you ain't handled it.
Mhm.
We had to handle it before
Correct.
anybody ever got into it.
And the more you do it, it's just like muscle rep. It's just like muscle memory.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why I feel like, as things start to, it becomes quicker. You get over it a little bit quicker,
Little bit faster. I
because
love it.
muscle memory kicks in, especially not to just hone in on it, but to hone in on it, especially when you can kick in the spiritual
Ah,
side.
bro, one.
That I think that kind of just boosts it 1,000 times, knowing that you can lean on the spiritual
It
side
ain't
too.
about you because it's already started now. And with or without you, this thing is going to continue,
Yeah,
right? I'm
yeah,
just thankful that God chose us to be able to move forward. But when we think biblically, even though Moses passed away,
yeah.
children of Israel still made it to the promised
Facts,
land,
facts,
right?
facts. Yeah,
It's this thing gonna keep going.
absolutely.
So as you come out of leaders lag,
Mhm.
right, and you're working through this thing, you get to therapy, you get all those pieces. Then how do you continue to push to be okay with collaborating or still meeting? Because now it's like you just got out of this thing, you're in this leadership lag, you're in this
Mhm.
leadership fatigue. You're get to the point where you can get tired of people relying on you,
Mhm.
but then you got to still come back.
Mhm.
And I know you're really good at collaborations.
Mhm.
then how do you put all that to the side and be like, all right, I'm gonna bring somebody else in. I'm gonna go into this next collaboration. I'm gonna turn this thing into something else after that. Like, because realistically, it should be like, you should become dark to it, or
Yeah.
like, nah, I ain't gonna do that shit no more.
No,
Nope.
I can speak to this, and I can speak to this very, very clearly and vividly of being that I'm in it
Mhm.
currently, and I've learned so much. And I'll just throw out the word "roses grow with love." That's one of the
Mhm.
main things I can say to answer your question. Is just, um, I think you know that quote: "You want to go somewhere fast, go alone. You want to go far." What is it? Go
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, gotta have
You
somebody
have
with you.
right, right, right.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's other people that bring certain things to tables that you can't bring. And I think that that's a
Mm,
it's a tough place because you in one sense of business, right? You're supposed to show up like, "Hey, I know I got this." Right? I
mm.
know I'm the Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever you want to call it, and I don't need A, B, or C because I know I'm here
I
for a
can do it
reason.
all. Yeah.
Right? But like if you think about all of these things, they all have even when you think about Kevin Hart, like there's pieces that he cannot
You
do.
can't.
And so collaboration to me, with though it may be extremely tough because you're dealing with different ideas, different perspectives, different ideologies, different morals, different
Different
values, all of
reasonings.
that. Believe all of that. I still am very, very big on going into it with love and understanding that that is I personally feel like that's the ultimate way
Yeah.
to grow
Yeah. I love
is
it.
when you can put
I love it.
when you can share the seat with somebody
Yeah.
and still get your vision
Yeah.
um to come into
Yeah.
fruition. I think that's the ultimate thing. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess to
And
answer your question, when you do have the leader's lag and you are tired and you still gotta show up for somebody else. It just I think it goes back to the ultimate test of leadership
absolutely. How
of
do I start it?
can you show up, you know, um, one for somebody else if you really feel like it's not about yourself, but two, can you show up um when nobody's watching?
Mhm.
Can you show up can you do the thing? I don't know.
No, no,
it's a tough
no. It's so real because you just reminded me. Because a lot of these things, like the cliche sayings that everybody make cliche. Like when you just said it just now, as if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. It just hit so home because we're going through in my business this year, 2024. Our word is sustainability,
mhm.
right? And I was so scared of that word because I felt like
You're gonna get tested in it.
I'm gonna get tested
You
because
for
I'm gonna have to
sure.
do something over and
For
over. I'm
sure.
gonna have to revisit. I'm gonna have to follow through on things I've said because I
Absolutely.
can't start. And I was scared too because I saw it slowing down this rocket ship that
Yeah.
I am. But then you just reminded me: is it about fast or is it about far?
Oh, bro.
Right? And I feel like my trajectory over these
Mhm.
last 3 years has been fast. Everybody like,
Mhm.
where did this come from? How is he doing? That's just because I had been pulled back in that slingshot for so long
Mhm.
that it propelled me super fast and I
Right, right,
got
right,
to
right.
where I was supposed to be. But now it's like, we had our strategic planning meeting. And I was, boy, even in that, I'm like, people is telling me what to do and
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like it took everything in me,
Mhm.
but it just was that reminder of, bro, like we're not here for a good time. I'm trying to be here for a
For a
long
long
time.
time, for long and I mean, even in the schools, they're like, "Why don't you go to this school, this school?" I said, "We're gonna go
We're
slow.
gonna go slow now.
We're gonna go slow." And when I say that people have come from Wazoo and has allowed, oh, boom, let's add this school. Boom, let's add this school. Oh, boom, let's add this program. Oh, shedding season is coming. Shedding season is coming. That person drops off. That person drops off. That person drops off. That person doesn't reply. Shedding, cool.
That's
Let
it.
it come in. Somebody comes in. New fruit. New fruit comes in.
That's
New
it.
ideas.
That's it. That's
New
it.
energy.
That's it. That's it.
Sometimes people gotta go away for a
That's
little
it.
while,
That's it.
get
That's
their
it.
self
That's
right
it.
because it can diminish the team.
You're right. Yeah, 1000%, bro.
So that I mean that it's
But because we're on this, ultra light beam. Like
Yeah.
we fit, we're going. But it's certain parts that you still need that this year is about sustaining my body, sustaining my mind,
Yeah.
sustaining my family, sustaining, my relationships,
Yeah.
sustaining, the business, sustaining my financials. It's so much stuff that's going to make me, because for the longest, it has been a gift, but now in the world, in the year of sustainability, me just jumping to the next thing has honestly been detrimental, or not detrimental. It has been a distraction at times. I've used doing something else because I didn't like the pain of
Oh yeah.
of this follow
Let me
of
let me try to do
I'm
something.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
Now, bro, like I gotta finish. I gotta
Hey,
redo. I gotta show improvement from this
absolutely.
one. Like we're not adding any more schools this year. We're not adding anything. You know, I took a note out of your book and I and we mapped out the
Hey
whole year.
yo.
And they told me like, Daniel, you cannot do anything outside of this.
Can't,
Do I
bro.
tell you, bro? When I tell you this joint has me scared,
When you lock me in a box,
you,
bro.
bro.
My year, when we
What did God tell me to do? Well, put it on 2025.
absolutely,
Put it.
because if you really got faith,
Mm,
if you really got faith,
mm,
you'll understand that just because you get them visions does not mean they're supposed to happen in
bro,
2024 when it's November.
bro.
It does not mean that you got to go exhaust, bro. Believe me, this is year 9.
Oh, bro.
This is year 9. So when I tell you that year of sustainability is tough, I ain't gonna lie to you, because you're gonna run into some stuff where it tests your ability to sustain. It's going to test your ability. When you look up the word sustain,
Absolutely.
I mean
Absolutely.
longevity. Like you talking about we in our 30s. I plan on being here for a long time.
Long time. Even if we even look at quote unquote retirement age, that's
Bro,
65.
so why would I want everything that I see right now?
Bro.
You think I'm gonna be doing the same thing when I'm 50? Absolutely freaking not.
And if you are, then you ain't growing.
Absolutely not. Now I may have a finger in it.
Absolutely.
I may have you know what I'm saying, some influence in it, but yeah, sustainability is gonna be a good one. I definitely know exactly where you are. Let me know. And even Deshaun, like even Black, like you're saying, he can't be here right now, but I've watched him in the growth process of just delegating some things and letting some things go. When you start to relinquish that power, that's when you know you're allowing some doors to open.
Absolutely.
Because doors cannot open if your hands are completely tied.
Bro.
Well, at least they can open, but you can't walk through them.
Bro.
You got too much baggage.
Wait, you can't even fit through the door.
Can't fit through the door.
Wait, so now
Absolutely.
this is allowing me to have a structure, right? And not just be this ADHD version of myself all the time, which is going to be growth in itself. Honestly, this is one of the years I can't wait to get through. I'm not, because I know this is going to be tough for me because my brain wants to see it as sitting in one spot when really what it is you're creating a bigger foundation from that one spot.
You're just think of it as like when you pour the concrete out.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you do is you set the boundaries.
Yep.
A lot of times with us, we pour the concrete out, let it dry, boom, we ain't set no boundaries. So the joint is just everywhere.
Just everywhere. We trying to stop hitting it.
Exactly. So now it's like you going back and wait. Let me set the boundary for this platform. Because all I wanted was a basketball court. I didn't mean to put the fireplace on here and all that stuff. Let me go back and just set the boundaries for this. And then once this foundation is laid, then I can move over about 10 feet and set the foundation for my grill spot. Then I can step away maybe 15 feet over here and put a playground over here.
Bro.
But when you trying to do everything on one foundation and it ain't secure, bro, it will fall.
Can I repeat the same thing again?
That's
one thing for me.
Yeah.
Like, can I say our mission statement over and over and over and over again, or am I going to keep changing? You know what I'm saying? Like, can I lean into this is the procedures, this is the policies, and we're going to do it every single time?
And can you get 5 other people to be able to like not so much repeat it, but live it?
Yeah.
Can they live it? Can they dive into it and passionately explain it while you're in California and they show up to a meeting and say everything that, or can they show up to a grant meeting on behalf of whatever? Like, you know, I'm not saying that it has to be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for
Well,
whatever
yeah, for
said
your,
business,
yeah, yeah,
whoever's
for, yeah,
listening to
yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah.
your said business is whatever, but can they passionately dive into it? Not the same as you would, because it's always going to be different, but can they live it? Like, can
Yeah,
it be
can
repeated?
it be with similar passion and hit the same points as you would hit the points? They might say it differently, but those same points, can the same point be brought across
Absolutely.
that as you would? And that's the process, and that's the growth that goes into this thing. But
Absolutely.
as you said earlier, bro, as much as it may seem like a struggle, it may seem like I really wouldn't want it no other way.
No, I
I
wouldn't, bro.
to,
I got a team that I just rant and rave over, bro.
man,
I thank God every day
man,
for my team. I'm literally closing my eyes. I'm just envisioning how we've been able to grow, how they came in, how
yeah,
some of them
bro,
have left out, and
bro,
it's no shot to anybody or
yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
But like,
yeah,
I've got a team that supports me and sees the vision for this, for everything. Um, and so I the same. I wouldn't want it. None of some things I would change
yeah, 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 yeah.
as
Do
far as
differently,
the little things,
yeah,
but for the most part,
bro,
I
bro,
wouldn't have it no other way, bro.
bro,
It's been
bro,
a blessing.
because unfortunately, when people come, people go, and you struggle with those things, you start to recognize really what you're looking for, and you start to narrow the the circle and narrow the focus
Hmm.
even more. So it's not that you just want anybody, you want the right body, right? So when you get the right one,
Hmm.
now it's like you go from this machine gun shooting everything, now you become this sniper. And now it's zeroed in with the right people in the sight, and now you become this suppose I'm just anybody, because I went through the season of anybody who said they liked it, oh yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, oh, all right, I'm able to
Uh
learn.
huh.
Now, what can I look at? So now my next phase is I want to see and go through the process. I'm not saying it's going to be, but I want to go through the process to see if I can actually put out, we're hiring, and take this person who might not have, can and can I teach them? But I got to go through sustainability, because I don't even know what I would teach a person who.
Hey.
So now, like because I boasted and bragged, I ain't even have to hire nobody, man. Everybody wanted to, yeah, that's cool at the beginning, but eventually you're gonna have to like
Hey.
pinpoint,
Hey.
interview,
Hey.
see, and
Train.
because right now I get the benefit of the doubt. Oh, that man, they wanted to be here, I lost them, and it wasn't. But now discern and interview and train and do it.
Hey.
So that's the next level that I'm praying that will also come through sustainability
It's gonna
is
come, bro. It's gonna come
is
in
can
a
I put this post we hiring?
bro. I put. You know how long it's been? We've been doing Imagine Me for close to 8, yeah, close to 8 years. First time me ever putting out, we're hiring 3 people, and then one of the main ones, he's so in love. He's like, bro, I've been praying for something like this for years, and then just to watch him shadow us, and he just head over heels of just like, hey, look, I can just see how you all create these relationships and how the kids love you, and I'm like, okay, God, this is. I listened to you. I listened, and I followed the directions of
Bro.
not expanding too fast, thinking that I needed a certain thing to
Yeah,
validate me in
yeah, yeah,
business,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
understanding that I don't give a damn about nobody else's timetable.
At all,
I
at
don't care
all.
if it takes me 30 years to get to the amount of schools or the amount of growth of scalability that I said I needed to get to. As long as I trust that we gonna get
And I
there,
don't stop.
if we get there at the last year, we
Yeah.
still got
If
there,
you don't care about win, you will always win, baby.
bro.
So with that is him saying that you don't want to pop it. For me, I don't want to pop that person's bubble who God may send by not being together and organized and having the stuff to be able to teach them with the questions that they may have, because I ain't really did the work.
That's fair. That's
You know what
fair.
I'm saying? And
That's
I'm not saying
fair.
I gotta have everything answered,
That's
but
fair.
I at least gotta have, hey, this is how we do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least have everybody else at least doing it, because if I tell them this how we do it, then they see John over here doing it differently. Wait, hold on. I thought this would.
And because the next person, once you get to a certain, I think we've gotten to a certain point now where people aren't just joining because they're like, oh, I saw you on Instagram. Da, da, da. They're like, no. I actually want, like, I want the real hiring
Yeah, yeah,
process. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't just
Bro.
willy nilly,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. No,
no,
hire me.
yeah, like, okay, what is this? What's up next? What's this? What's this? I'm like, oh, okay.
So that's what we're getting to, and how we want to do this thing, man. This has been good,
Yeah, this
man.
has been good, bro.
Black, you missed a
Yeah, you
great
missed a good
one,
one.
man. As always, X, this is therapeutic. This is
Absolutely, bro.
freeing. This is
I
everything.
needed this. I needed this.
And I hope and pray that you guys are hearing our hearts, right? Like we're not saying we're right with everything. We're not saying that we're perfect. We're showing you the vulnerability that it takes to build something that started in your head,
Absolutely.
and that you don't really have a blueprint for. You have faith, and you have this unwavering tenacity to see it through. And with that, I think everything is
Yeah.
possible, and we're gonna keep going, bro. Like,
Yeah. I'm a I'm gonna end, and I feel like I'm at this point after today,
mhm,
after you know what I'm saying, during church today,
mhm,
something happened, and to quickly go through it, my pastor, she allowed, she didn't even preach, she just said, we're gonna use this as a moment of gratefulness, and everybody, if you feel led by the Spirit to come up and just share
mhm,
what you're thankful for, or whatever, whatever.
mhm,
So people started going up, and of course me, you know what I'm saying, I haven't been the most frequent or consistent person going to
mhm,
church, but I know where my foundation is,
mhm,
and I know when
mhm,
I'm led, I know where I'm supposed to be,
mhm,
right? I still have my spiritual journey. Everybody has their own thing, right? So recently I've been getting back into it. I've been reading a lot,
mhm,
chasing my spiritual journey, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, God, I hear you. I know I'm supposed to get up and go. I know I'm supposed,
mm.
because of how blessed I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
am. I
absolutely,
would be a
absolutely.
fool not to
Yeah,
share
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
somebody.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
To hold
yeah,
that in. Right.
yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, no, X, you got too much. Then it's gonna be bragging. Right. Don't, no, this is, so I get up, I talk. And one thing that I shared, and I've shared it on this podcast several times, is when I was young, a lady spoke to me and she said, "Everything that you touch will turn to gold."
Mhm,
And I spoke and I said, "You know what?" I said, "If that hasn't been the most true statement over
mhm,
my life, it doesn't mean it hasn't been like trials and tribulations
mhm,
and and hardships and things like that. But just about everything I say happens. Anything I see happens. Whether it's tenfold, 20-fold, or a
mhm,
hundredfold,
mhm,
something happens. It may not look
mhm.
like what I think it's gonna look like, but you know what I'm saying. I chuck it up to God of like, yeah, you still did that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, but one of the I say all this to say, and this is for this message, this I feel like this testimony and prophecy is for anybody out there that may be dealing with the same thing. And when you see your vision very, very clear, and you see your creativity and certain things come to you, an event or a notion, or I should do this or I should do this. If you're in that season,
Mhm,
if you're in that season,
mhm,
my grandfather's best friend, Paul, his wife, Sister Darlene, I could say it. She would be proud. But she pulled me aside and she said, I was sitting there and I was watching you, and she was like, all I could see was like Goldfinger. And she was like,
mm,
everything you touch is gonna be gold for this year.
mm,
And so I'm listening. I said, I receive it, and I'm receiving it. And she said, but she said, the same way you can touch things, you got to touch your mind.
mm,
She said, because what you've been doing is you see it, but
mm,
you abort it by your words. She was like, so the moment that you think about it, you automatically abort it by saying, no, that's not for me. No,
mm,
not right now. Nah, I don't know if that's gonna work out. And she
mm,
said, the moment that you see it, touch it and know that it's there for a reason. So I'm saying this to anybody out there, right? Everything that we've talked about, if you're a leader in any capacity, whatever, I'm encouraging you, like you said, I'm encouraging you that what you're seeing is not uh just by chance. What
mhm,
you're seeing is very much real. I don't know when it's gonna happen for you, whatever, but
mhm,
if you're starting to see things and it's coming to you and you're in that season,
Yeah.
speak it. Like, speak it, bro. Like, speak it. Say that it's gonna happen. Know that it's gonna happen, and touch it.
I love it.
And that was just I had to
That's
throw that out there because it was something so real for me. And even one of my teammates, Taylor, you know, she was like, "X, I really, really need you to know that your stuff is real."
yeah, absolutely.
Because after a certain period of time, and I'm not saying you'll run into this,
Yeah,
but it's ebbs and flows. You'll see, and then you start to like doubt yourself,
yeah,
like, ah,
absolutely,
ah.
absolutely.
And I'm a very fearless leader. I'm a
Yeah,
very
yeah,
fearless
yeah.
person, but I've come into those seasons. And so
You're trying to
just know whenever this comes out, just know I'm in a season right now, boy, where somebody
yeah,
done
yeah.
lit up a fire.
And we're not watering it down no more
Bro.
because we're trying to water it down based on our no. It's time to bring
It's
the
like,
environment to
dog,
pick up to us.
it's like the 3 words "I am capable,"
Oh, bro,
like, is hitting
I
so
love
hard
it.
right
I
now.
love it.
So,
And to the closing point,
yeah.
that's crazy to piggyback off of that. And I've been writing a lot
Mhm.
lately. That's how I know I'm coming to a new season because it's back to that woken up in the middle of the
Mhm.
night and all these things. And it came to me the other night and it said, it's time to deal with the consequences of the things that weren't your fault.
Shit.
And it was clear as day. Woke me up out of my sleep. It's time to deal with the consequences of the things that weren't your fault. And I think that piggybacks onto the doubt and all the things that you said,
Yeah.
because I'm telling you guys that there's some things that were not your fault from your childhood, from
For
people,
sure,
from
for sure.
situations, not even going back to that far, from people leaving, not being there. You can't keep acting like that it didn't happen
Yeah.
and that there was something that came from it that may have been a consequence, whether it's how you treat others, how you act, how you respond, your anger, your frustration, the way you deal with relationships. Those are the consequences of the things that weren't your fault. I remember
Yeah.
dealing with things because I didn't have my mom in my life and I had these mommy issues. Those are the consequences of the things that weren't my fault. So I treated people so I'm telling you guys, it's time to recognize, and before you can deal with the consequences of the shit you've done, you got to deal with the consequences of the things that weren't your fault.
Mm.
And you got to deal with that first. So I'm telling you guys, in order to get to being capable, you have to go through this process of feeling and acknowledging those
Mhm.
consequences, not as an excuse, but acknowledging that some of the ways that you dislike are the consequences of things that weren't your fault. And the more you can do that, then the more, like you told me to do earlier, that I'm
Mhm.
working on, the more grace I can give myself.
Yeah.
Because now when I deal with those consequences, now I connect the dots to the BS, to the things that I don't agree with that have been happening. I recognize that it's because of those things, and then I can give myself grace because I've done them.
Yep.
But the ultimate goal is now I don't got to do them no more because now I've healed. So,
And watch this. Watch how I turn this full circle.
mm,
So you asked, how do we, you know what I'm saying, how hard it is right now to not take those things personal
mm-hmm.
when somebody leaves or somebody does something or anything like that. You just said it.
Wow, wow,
Those things become easier and easier
yeah,
as we start to deal with the consequences of things that weren't our fault.
absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
all of that abandonment, all of that stuff is consequences of things that we ain't got
We
nothing to
ain't got nothing
do
to do with it.
with.
We ain't got nothing. We try to make ourselves have something to do with it. That's the crazy part. We'll put ourselves in it, bro.
So as soon as you, yeah, to anybody, he said it. I mean, to
Yeah,
anybody
yeah,
that's out there, once
yeah.
you start to really deal with those things, go back full circle, go rewind it all the way back to the beginning and listen to what was said and how over time it gets easier. Why? If you do the work,
Mm-hmm.
if you become self-aware, if you do the work, again, you have to do the work.
It's not out of becoming numb. I don't want
Yeah,
you guys to think
nah,
that because
bro.
when you become
Turning
numb,
cold is
you
the
become
worst.
callous.
Yeah,
Then when you become callous, then when you hurt people, you don't feel it no more.
correct.
And then you don't fit. So
And then you walk around just hurting people.
it's not about becoming numb. It's about feeling it,
Yeah,
recognizing it. But where's that stinger at? That stinger is never like, let's pull that thing out,
yeah,
recognize where it came from, and let's pull it out. And let's not live there. Let's not
yeah,
stay there.
yeah.
Let's keep this thing rolling, bro.
Facts,
That's
facts.
man. It's been love, baby.
Yeah.
It's been love,
Black, it
man.
was a good one.
Yeah, bro.
He's being a father right now,
Yeah,
so
man. Yeah,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
those things might happen, man.
Absolutely.
As always, the man behind the camera, Mr.
Yes,
Bear
sir.
himself, man.
Yes,
This
sir.
thing ain't possible without his vision and without
Absolutely.
his ideas and creativity bringing us to life, man. Just this thing about to be great.
This is about to be crazy, bro.
And if it's not even great for y'all, it's been great for us.
No, bro.
So this gives us another week
It's so
to keep
aligned,
going.
bro.
And even if y'all don't watch it,
Man,
it's still gonna make us
it's so
better.
aligned.
So just keep on lookout.
I'm
Keep
just excited
tuning
to
in.
have kids so they can listen to me.
Oh, bro.
No cap, bro.
Bro.
Like, yo, your pops is
I'm gonna
a
go back
G.
and dad said this. Hey, I don't know what to do. Go back.
Facts, bro.
There's stuff in the universe.
It's been written.
It's been written.
Like the book of Eli.
Bro. Denzel Washington's real kids, after Denzel Washington's gone, can go back his grandkids and be like, man, I wonder how my granddaddy was. Go watch a movie.
Go watch him.
Go watch him.
Yeah, you want to see his personality? You want to see his mannerism? Go watch him.
You want to hear what he did?
Facts.
You want to see the hard work?
Facts.
So I'm telling you, at the end of the day, this is going to live on forever,
Facts.
man.
So excited.
Yeah, bro. Let's keep this thing rolling, man. We love you guys. Keep tuning in, man. Hustle Spirit Show. Yeah.
Yo.